What's up, guys? This is Andy, BC Builds here. As you can hear in the background, I'm watching Rocky 4 or 5, Ivan Drago, Rocky Marathon. I'm sitting at home. I want to show you a rebuild and a new build. First off is this machine that I just built. It looks similar to the other machines I've built. That you guys might have seen. I made a video on them. This is a Unimax Apollo frame. Similar to the other one. Actually, it's almost identical. This is a new one, though. The other one's a first generation. This one I just purchased. It's brand new. Chrome frame. Honestly, I really don't need any more machines. It's kind of just an addiction. But I could have just bought a whole machine for, I think it's like 60, 70 bucks, coils and everything. But I'm not a huge fan of Unimax parts. They're not always the best. It's really hit or miss. The frames always seem to be at least decent enough to make it work. So I think I bought the frame. It was 25 bucks. You can see it's a two-piece frame like the other one. Pretty much the same hardware, same... This is actually the wheel off the other one, or one of the other ones I have. Shit, came unclipped. Hold on. Yeah, anyways, but their coils, I'm not really that big of a fan of, nor the armature bars, the chrome-plated armature bars. They just don't seem to hit as hard or run as smoothly. So basically, I just bought the frame from unimaxsupply.com, and then I ordered coils, another set of these green ringmaster coils. Green is not my favorite color. I just think the green ones look the best, and I like the stilted look, but full stilted, both front and back, really doesn't have that much power. So I always end up getting the green half stilt, well, the stilt in the back. You can see in the other videos I have 3 pairs of these. I also have other ringmaster coils. I just buy more of these. All the parts I buy now are ringmasters. Ringmaster for the most part. You can see these are Ringmaster 16 gauge springs front and back. This is a pretty much all-purpose shader. Mostly what I've been using it for is gray wash. I've only used it 3 or 4 times now, but it runs amazingly. As you can see, it's a standard weight armature bar, not light, not heavy. The binding posts, I kind of scratched them up because I had to hold them with a wrench to drill the hole out, because this comes standard with the 632 what's it called, contact screw, and I like the 832 big ones. I just buy solid brass ones from Home Depot. And you can also see all the hardware on this is brass. One's in the bottom, the side, one in the back, in there, except for this one. I just have to cut one of these down. I just haven't got around to that yet. So it's all quality parts on this. Brass binding posts. This is at 7 volts. It runs at 103 hertz. It's got plenty of power at 7 volts. I'd run it loaded at maybe 7.5. That's usually what I've been using it on. Depends on what power supply. One of them's kind of iffy. So I run it lower so I don't burn shit out. Anyways, that's pretty much it. What inspired me on this was actually a lowrider car I saw in a magazine that was green, gold, and chrome. All chromed out. And this has all the gold, well, gold colored, the brass hardware, brass binding posts, chrome frame, and green coils. Amazing machine. Performance and look-wise, this is one of my favorite machines easily. I wanted to keep that old school retro look on it, you know, I guess the 70s look, the chrome and the gold and the green. So I didn't put an RCA conversion on this, or the phono jack. I'm going to find a way to do it subtly. I just thought it would take away from the look. Done with that machine. This one, you guys, I think I made a video on. I'm not too sure. It's been a long week. This I just got from a friend. Actually, my mentor, he's used this for most of his life. This is iron workhorse, not workhorse irons. Shit. This clip cord sucks. Forgive me, guys. I'm trying to do this all one-handed, and I can't see where the hole is. There we go. This is an iron workhorse made by International Tattoo Supply. This is the older model. I think this is about 15 years old now. It's just like the other dial frames. This is cast iron, except for it doesn't have the holes in it. This is the older model. They don't make it with without the holes in it anymore. The coils are original. I just rewrapped them. Everything's original on it except for the contact screw. It needed a new one. The other one was seriously worn down. He's used this so much he wore through about a 1-inch contact screw to the point where I couldn't get it down far enough to tune it. And I've been wanting this since I just started tattooing. He's my mentor and my boss. Not this is a super special machine or it's rare, but this was his daily runner. This is what he used to tattoo me when I first met him. He also gave me this machine, which was my first machine ever, which is an Infinite Irons. But I had a lot of sentimental attachment to this. Just when I first started tattooing, before I got my own machines, he was letting me use his and this. And I have a lot of respect for the man. 25 years in the business, and this was his daily runner up until shit. I keep popping the clip cord. Up until about 3-4 days ago when he gave it to me. Honestly, I've been bugging him forever to sell it to me. And while we were working the other day, I heard him go, "Oh shit!" He snapped. Literally, the one didn't snap it. He wore the spring out so much it wore a hole right through it and pretty much snapped the end off of it. And at that point, he just pulled another machine out the drawer and started using a different one. And he handed it to me. And originally, just told me, he's like, "Rebuild it and it's yours," or not, rebuild it and bring it back. I rebuilt it. He used it once and then gave it back to me. He's like, "Here's your present. I know you've been bugging me for years." So I got a lot of attachment to this. This thing weighs 9 ounces. It is heavy as fuck, so I don't see that I'm actually going to use it at any point. I'm probably going to frame it just because, he was my mentor. This is the, second nice machine he's given me. Well, one that has sentimental value. This is also at 7 volts. I don't know why the hell it's not running. Never mind. Okay, I lied. The shader was only at 5 volts before. I thought it was a 7, so that shader runs hard. You can see now it's on 7. This runs at about 145 hertz. It's pretty quick. Doesn't really sound too loud. It's tuned correctly, and just the huge cast iron frame absorbs all the vibration. Kind of hurt my finger doing that. This is a powerful, fast liner. Only problem with this machine is it's super heavy. But I replaced the armature bar and a 1-piece ringmaster spring. Actually, no, it's not ringmaster. I'm not even sure. Maybe it's just a generic spring. It's a 20 gauge, 1-piece. Had to raise up the coils a little bit. Because the armature bar that was on this was the original armature bar, which anybody that has these brand of machines, they're fucking gigantically thick and wide. I kept that, and lately I've been using a lot of big mags, not just 15 mags. The other day, I actually was pushing a 49 mag, slightly curved, on a back piece just to do some big shading, basically to frame in a Buddha. And I was using this, which has plenty of power, but I don't want to burn this out. It can push the basically 49 mag pretty well. I didn't really have too many issues, but I love this rotary. This is what I use for all my lining now as a hummingbird. So basically what I wanted to do is, because I still have 2 more big back pieces to do, and I have to finish that one, I needed something that would push a really big bag, and this was just a straight color packer, and it had a different armature bar on it that was heavy, but since I retuned his machines, I ended up with this gigantic iron workhorse armature bar. You can see how thick it is. That is as thick as the springs. It's super thick this way, and it's super fucking wide, and it's pretty long. This is twice as heavy as the other color packer bar I had on it. Hold on, let me grab it. It's in here somewhere, guys. Hold on. Alright, this is the other color packer bar I had on it. You see it's decently wide and it's pretty thick. It's bubbled at the end. This is heavier than almost every other armature bar I've used. You use a heavy arm bar for color packing just because there's more mass and it just hits a lot harder. It'll sink that color in. Show you guys like this. You can see in comparison that this one's wider. And you can just see on the side that's pretty thin up and down. And then just look at the difference there. This is a big boy armature bar. But compared to the one that I just put on it, it's nothing. It's almost the same thickness. You would think because this is bubbled out in the top that it'd be heavier. No. Just the difference in the width of it. I'll show you this way. Look at the width difference. This thing is, 25% wider. This thing is, about 30-40% heavier than this one. And this is what I was using for color packing and my big mags. And I used this with the 49 mag and it was working, but it was still struggling. You could see the machine was struggling. So these are ringmaster coils as well. I kind of fucked up the coil covers on them. They were clear, so I just threw red ones over it. And I changed out the armature bar. Same springs on it, 16 gauge ringmaster. And as you can see, this is at 7 volts. This thing hits like a fucking monster. Where's the pedal? See that thing going? Watch, I can barely make it bog out. And I'm pushing hard as fuck. Let me try something. Actually, it's not going to work. This is by far the hardest hitting machine I've ever built. Even with me pushing it all the way up, it's still running. It will not bog. And only 7 volts. Only one clip put in, so you don't see them lying. Same cord. 7 volts. And this thing is almost unstoppable. When I bog it out, it's making the thing fucking jump around on this little table here. It is that powerful. This is by far the most powerful machine I've ever seen nor built. Usually rotaries are more powerful. This puts all my rotaries to shame. And I have a few rotaries that have Maxon motors in them. And this is just the most powerful machine of any type that I've ever used. Given these are ringmaster 10 wrap coils, which are monsters to begin with. All ringmaster coils are extremely fucking powerful. Those are extremely powerful. Like I showed you guys before, it's only on 5 volts. I thought it was 7, and that was still hitting hard. Honestly, this really has the potential to fuck somebody up. So using anything small with this is just kind of out of the question unless I really put the volts down. I'm not sure what it'd even start at. Still hitting pretty hard. 4.5 volts is the starting point, around what it'll start at. Five volts. It's fucking hurting my finger. Anyways, lesson for today: be careful what you do with monster color packers. And I use this. This pumped that fucking black in. We did the second session yesterday, and it was yesterday, and I used this with the 49 mag, slightly curved, and this was just fucking pumping in the black. I had to be careful. This shit runs pretty quick. I ran it at 7.5 volts loaded, which is low. Normally my color packer I'd run around 8, but this is just so powerful. It's back up to 7 volts now. This just pumped that black in. I covered, 150 square inches with black and black shading in a matter of 10 minutes. Or maybe a little longer. But just to show you the gravity, just listen to that. And that's loud. It's not loud because this machine's out of tune. One, the frame echoes. It's so big and it's hitting so hard. It's making so much fucking noise. And that's with 16 gauge springs. It had 18 gauge in the back, but honestly, that was making it run way too fast and way too fucking hard. So I had to dumb it down with the 16 gauge, and it still is a monster. You know, and honestly, what International Tattoo Supply does, I can't find them, I'm not even going to look them out, to compensate for the gigantic armature bars that they make, which doesn't really make much sense to me. Honestly, to save money, why don't they just make smaller ones? But to compensate for such a big armature bar, they use 23 gauge springs, which are seriously fucking thick. And that means a thicker spring, more material, more money, and a thicker armature bar, more material, more money. So if they wanted to save money and be like everybody else, why don't they make smaller armature bars and regular size springs? Doesn't really make sense to me. But using regular springs on a regular machine, this thing just hits like a fucking monster. And I have other color packer bars besides this one, and I purchased them for this specific reason of color packing. They even say color packer bars. I have one from, I think, Saltwater Tattoo Supply, Forward. I bought a bunch of them, and this is by far the biggest armature bar I've ever used. And this was on a liner. I shit you not, this came on a liner machine. It came on this with a liner spring, because he also has this same machine as his shader. You could tell they both had the same armature bars. They're 100% stock, except for the springs at this point. Well, they were new springs, but they were still International Tattoo Supply. But their liner and shader use these big ass bars. Sometimes they use this big bar on liners, but they cut grooves and it's still bigger than any color packer bar. It just doesn't make sense. But anyways, if you guys want an awesome color packer bar, or a color packer in general, buy one of these machines as a shader and change the springs to lighter springs, use the same armature bar, and you will have a monster hitting machine. I will put this up against any other machine that anybody can build. I'm going to put up a challenge. I want to see somebody build a more powerful machine than this. And shit, even if I have to fucking fly out and we compare them, or wherever you guys are, I want to see it done. Make a video of the most powerful color packer or shader that you possibly can. I want to see them. Or if you guys already have one, put it up. Because honestly, I've never seen anything like this. And it's not even like it has a big capacity.